You finally find the perfect gift for a friend. You hand it over, they tear off the paper, open the box, and force a tight, unconvincing smile. They secretly hate it, and suddenly the air in the room feels impossibly heavy. Or picture a lonely guy at a cafe. He walks up to a tight-knit, laughing group of strangers and completely derails their mood with a booming, overly eager introduction. We tend to write these painful moments off as a simple lack of personal charm or an innate personality flaw. But look closely at the underlying biology, and these missteps reveal exactly how our brains process reality. What we experience as a cringe-inducing moment is actually a visible crash in a fragile, highly sophisticated neurological survival engine. To understand how physically vulnerable ancient humans managed to survive as a species, we have to reverse engineer this biological software by looking at exactly what happens when it fails. It starts with basic physiological regulation. When you experience high stress, your brain initiates a massive physiological takeover. Your heart rate spikes, your motor precision degrades, and your senses hyper-focus on threats. For our ancient ancestors who faced predators and brutal environmental conditions daily, operating in this frantic state constantly would quickly burn out the body. Evolution developed a clever solution. The brain recognized that a social framework provided physical safety, allowing the nervous system to finally calm down. To ensure we sought out that safety, the brain engineered a specific, dedicated mechanism, essentially a biological factory whose sole purpose is to generate a physical craving for human company. We can see the boundaries of this mechanism clearly when it stops working. A failure to generate that basic impetus for connection, which often results in emotional coldness and a complete lack of interest in relationships, is recognized clinically as schizoid personality disorder. The desire to be around other people is a mandatory biological baseline, engineered by evolution to keep the body alive. Once the brain forces us to seek out others, it has to navigate the next layer of complexity, theory of mind. This is the cognitive ability to comprehend that the people around us have unique thoughts and knowledge completely separate from our own. Look at this diagram showing a classic clinical test used to measure the integrity of someone's theory of mind. We have a red box and a blue box. A researcher places a coin into the red box while you and an assistant both watch. Then, the assistant is asked to step out of the room. While the assistant is gone, the researcher secretly moves the coin to the blue box. The test hinges on one simple prediction. When the assistant returns, where will they think the coin is? The correct answer is the red box, because the assistant didn't see the switch. But someone with a significant impairment in theory of mind will instinctively guess the blue box. Their brain cannot separate its own updated knowledge from the absent person's ignorance. This cognitive blind spot happens on a milder scale in everyday life. When you buy a gift you love, completely forgetting the recipient has entirely different tastes, you are experiencing a temporary, minor failure in your theory of mind. An intact theory of mind and urge for companionship doesn't guarantee a successful social interaction. The final layer of the stack is your executive function. Think of this as the behavioral manager. It actively organizes your facial expressions, adjusts your body language, and calculates the exact conversational timing required for any given situation. Let's look again at the lonely man in the cafe. His biological desire for connection is fully intact. He might even possess a high IQ. His failure happens purely at the execution stage. His behavioral manager misfired, producing a physical and verbal output that completely failed to match the specific social context and energy of that lively room. Severe social awkwardness rarely indicates a lack of intelligence or empathy. The final step in a massive neurological calculation crashed right at the point of execution. The traits we vaguely describe as personal charm or high emotional intelligence are actually the output of this entire biological stack operating at peak efficiency. If you ask highly charismatic people how they fit in so easily, they rarely have an answer. Their brains are seamlessly automating these incredibly complex calculations entirely beneath their conscious awareness. For two people to sit at a cafe and have a completely normal, boring conversation, billions of neurons must flawlessly calculate stress regulation, spatial awareness, theory of mind, and precise muscular control, all in real time. Human connection is an evolutionary masterpiece. It demands deep awe when it executes flawlessly, and a little patience and grace for ourselves and others when the system inevitably glitches.